Welcome back everyone to Europa Universalis 4 with the Great Culture Wars. Now I mentioned that I would go into some sort of a time-lapse mode because the game was running so slow and we wouldn't really cover enough years to make this series end in a reasonable time. But luckily this computer is now much faster, and so therefore there is no need for this. We can simply continue the series as we have, which is really cool. I'm very happy about this, and I think you guys will like it as well. So I assume we'll have about 6 more episodes until the end of the game, which is, I think, pretty good overall. So yeah, we left off last time. I didn't go forward in between episodes at all, and we left off last time with the Irish-Malaccan Imperialist War, which is relatively one-sided. Malacca had to face off against several European powers in the past. I mean, there were the Scottish and English, now it's the Irish, and I think we had, I believe, the Occitans fighting them as well. So they really had to do a lot of things and defend against a lot of people, and they're actually doing quite well when it comes to occupations. But in the end of the day, I think their homelands are, these are their new homelands. I mean, they have only colonies over here basically. At the end of the day, they're gonna get defeated quite likely. They just don't have the resources to fight this war efficiently for a long time, although they just stack-webbed an army. But yeah, I think Ireland is gonna get their way here at the end. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. Other than that, we have only a few provinces in the world left uncolonized, something in Africa here that has yet to be taken, and obviously a few lands in Asia, although not too many. For the most part, it's Siberia and China that has to be colonized yet, but everything else has already been taken, so that is really, really cool. I like that. We also obviously have Australia. This is a Occitan colony. They have taken everything. They've taken New Zealand as well as all of Australia. Nobody else was interested. So yeah, they just took it over themselves. Wait, is it Occitan, by the way, or is it oh wait, I see this. No, it's Norman actually. I was wrong. Yeah, I was just thinking, is this Norman or Occitan? They have the same color, but yeah, they are Norman. Very nice, very nice. Now, one thing I should quickly check though is my settings here, because I'm not entirely sure about if I have even music turned on. So let me quickly check that out real quick. I think that, yeah, it's just very quiet. We'll make it a little bit louder and we'll see. I mean, obviously depending on which song plays, this obviously also differs the intensity. But anyways, let's check out what kind of wars we have got going on other than the Irish. Nothing. Alright, well, I guess in this at this point we can just speed through. I suppose we'll have a look at the culture map mode while we're at it. If I can find it, there you go. And yeah, not too many changes, although we see a little bit of culture conversion here. Yes, that is certainly happening. Oh, this is, what is it exactly? This is actually Valonian, and it's supposed to be turned into Rhenish. So yeah, you know, the AI nations are culture converting. That's very nice to see. Is there anywhere else where we can particularly see this? The Greeks are not doing too well. I think a lot of the Greek provinces have been converted. But yeah, that's really cool. I like that. Well, show the culture map again. So yeah, this has been changed. Anything else? Any other changes we see? Not really. Alright. Well, but that's okay. I mean, yeah, as I said, for the most part, whatever gets colonized, you know, we'll keep that culture, which is why the New World is very important. Obviously, the Catalans have their majority of their culture over here, so that is something we shouldn't forget. As well as the Occitans, they also have a lot of converted provinces up here in the New World. Alright, well, I guess we can also check out religions for a moment, but there's not really much to be said. Catalans holding up the, well, the spirit of the Reformed, but there is not much else Reformed left in Europe. I mean, yeah, I think the Swiss still Reformed and the Burgundians, but they just got their teeth kicked in. And then we only have Catholics and obviously the mighty Orthodox, who have set themselves up here in Persia and obviously in their traditional regions of Eastern Europe. And then obviously they continued to colonize quite far into even India here with the Ryazanians. Alright, well, I think we've gone forward 5 years already. This is great. So this is obviously running much faster than expected. Only 5 minutes in, already 5 years done. I love it. I love it. But we're certainly going to check out if there are any more wars, and certainly there are. We have the Second Crimean Sami Imperialist War, which is relatively one-sided. Sami fighting the Syrians, the Crimeans, and the Muscovites. I wonder if the Muscovites are going to finally get some more lands. Possible, but I don't think it's going to be enough to start colonizing themselves. We have the Portuguese reconquest of Vari, with the Aragonese and Leonese on their side, fighting the Andalusian, Moroccan, Tunisian trio that is kind of dominating here in this region. But with the Leonese, if they get military access and get to move their troops over, they will probably win this war. They have already made their way over here. There's 100,000 Tunisians. The Leonese have more troops. I wonder if they're going to use them, well, they're going to use them smart. But yeah, look at this. Look how many Leonese troops there are. 240 stacks, another 50 stack coming, and then certainly more than 100,000 men standing around here. So that is pretty clear. And then down here, it seems to be in favor. Well, the Portuguese can throw a punch themselves. The Aragonese have some troops as well. It's hard to say, but I think down here it's in favor of the Sunnis. But I guess we'll check that out. It's certainly not a one-sided war. That's good to see. We've got the Gaskin-Burgundian nationalist war. That is, once again, very one-sided. I think the Burgundians are probably just going to get completely annexed by the Gascons here. That is very possible. And the Sami fight another war against the Ryazanians, Ruthenians, and Albanians, and they're losing that one as well. So yeah, they're gonna have to give up huge swaths of lands to both the Ryazanians and the Crimeans, and that is certain. And I wonder which other nation is going to benefit from this. So that is obviously a wrong web mode. But the Ryazanians, they have a few cores they want to take back from the Sami because they've been beaten in the previous war, and I think, well, they have to take something else. They have to take at least like these two provinces as well as their cores if they want to connect their lands again. So we'll see if that's happening. It's quite likely. Well, actually, you know what? The Crimeans cannot take any province right now. If the Ryazanians are really smart, they just take these lands and completely cut off the Crimeans here. I mean, they've already cut them off with sieges, so that's really cool. But we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, these wars are very one-sided, so I think the only one that's particularly important to watch is the one here in Africa, because that, you know, could at least, well, it could go either way, I suppose. We have a few Tunisians, but the Leonese are just massively recruiting. Look at that. They still got 50,000 men holding back. That is very, very amazing. Alright, so yeah, you've got 90,000 men. You are besieging the Moroccan capital, and I do believe the Moroccans are the ones starting this war, right? No, it's the Portuguese actually, and they want Wari. So unless they take Wari, they, well, it's gonna look bad for them. They still haven't taken that, but it's certainly possible. Certainly a possibility for them to take that. They're about to win another battle here against Morocco, so they just actually gotta cap this, and then they're good to go. They will get the war score ticking up in their favor. But obviously AI is relatively bad with that usually. Anyway, a few more wars have popped up that we need to check out. The Romanian, Croatian, and Nationalist War. Okay, so we'll see a lot of these very one-sided wars where we have one nation being attacked by an entire alliance of other, you know, nations. The Romanians, together with the Franconians and Neapolitans, fighting the Croatians. I mean, really, what's gonna happen? They're just gonna get fully annexed. And then they're gone, really. Also, Malacca apparently still survived after the Irish onslaught. They did have to give up all of their lands over here. Now, Irish Indochina has grown quite a bit. Also, I just want to mention here that this is Egyptian territory and not Galician. They just happen to have the same color. So I suppose it's now the English who want to take some lands down here, and that will probably, I think that's going to finish off the Malacca? No, Malacca still has lands in the Philippines, so I don't think the Malacca is going to die. Yeah, they peaced out for this one province, and the war is over. And a lot of other wars have seen their conclusion. So, for example, the Sami peaced out all of their wars, and it's quite interesting because they did lose lands to the the Muscovites actually gained some 2 provinces. The Crimeans got nothing. because the Ryazanians blocked them off completely, but they have failed to connect their lands. However, they did get, they did get cores back and even some more lands from the Sami. So the Ryazanians certainly did well, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to get them back into the game. Other than that, Burgundy has almost been completely taken. They have one province left, and they also were forced to give a land, one of this province here over to the Normans. But they're probably not going to be able to hold on to it, because they're currently in another war, the Flemish-Wallonian Imperialist War. The Flemish Bretons, both small nations, together with the Finns, Prussians, and Franconians. That's a big deal. Fighting the Wallonians, the Normans, the Gascons, and the Silesians. Okay, that's something I will have to have a look at in more detail, because I can't really oversee this. Okay, so the Gascons, who have just landed this major victory over the Burgundians, are now fighting together with Silesians. This is looking bad. This is looking really bad for you. I mean, you've got the Finns and the... Wait, why are the Finns in this? But yeah, you've got the Finns and the Prussians and the Franconians against you, and the only ally you have are the Silesians? The only notable ally, anyway. This is not good. The Gascons might lose a lot of their gains that they have made here in Burgundy. That is a war they should have not joined in. They're getting their army smashed right now. They're trying to hold it. Actually, you know what? Never mind. They won that fight by reinforcing very quickly. Alright. Well, I mean, if they... Well, then again, even if they take this fortress, I mean, they've won 2 consecutive battles here in Vermandoy, or whatever you call that. And it looks like it's going to be a 3rd battle. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so they're certainly winning the battles here. Gascony is doing a good job, together with, Wallonia here. But I don't know, even if they take that fortress, like, what is it going to do? Franconia's capital, I believe, is somewhere over here, very far away. They have a lot of provinces they need to go through in order to really hurt them. And now already they're coming under heavy pressure. I think this is the first battle I saw them lose, and now they're retreating over here as well. So yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna lose that surely. So yeah, it's only -3. It's actually not too bad. Okay, and we have Portugal still fighting. Well, I do believe the Leonese are still in this. Yes, they are, and they're slowly advancing through Tunis and winning some very important battles here in the north coast. Very nice. Those are Tunisian troops. So yeah, it's quite clear the Moroccan tactic here. They try and stop the Leonese, but for the most part, they're just hoping that attrition and their mountain and desert fortresses will do the job. So they focus on taking out Portugal in the south, and they're not doing too well. Portugal is able to hold their own. For some reason, they still have not taken the war goal, which is just very terrible to see. But for the most part, though, they are certainly very well set up down here. They've taken the capital of the Andalusians, and yeah, I mean, Aragon is really suffering in this. They already have uprisings in the thousands, and I think Aragon might peace out here very soon, and it's quite likely that Aragon is going to have to give up some lands in the process as well. So I do believe that Portugal is going to be successful at some point here, but the Aragonese are going to have to pay for it. And there we have a peace. But that was a entire piece. That was not a separate piece. Portugal did not gain land. At least, I can't see it. No, it seems to have been a white piece, because I don't see Aragon making any gains. Perhaps they got some cores back? I don't know. But yeah, I don't see anyone making any gains particularly, so that was a war fought for nothing. At least that's what it looks like for the most part. Alright, so what else have we got going on? We've got the English now fighting the Sami as well. The second time. Wow, they have really been messed up over here in China. They really got beaten up and lost a lot of lands. I don't know if this is going to go better for them. If they don't ship over their troops over here in time, then, well, I mean, what do they expect? They have not a single army here. And the Sami, I mean, they have a land connection here. They can just barge in and take over these lands. So I think the English are once again, they're going to fail. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's not really looking particularly good. So yeah, anyways, the Muscovites now look very nice. Their name is amazing because they grabbed that wasteland over there. I like that. But we could have a quick look at the great powers. The Occitans are still the #1 great power. Then we have the Leonese. The English are #3. Then the Syrians are #4. Very nice to see them here. The Muscovites #5. They certainly increased. The Normans still holding on to place 6. That is something that I'm very surprised at. The Catalans #7. The only power that is not based in Europe, and I guess, well, you could call the Syrians not based in Europe as well, so alright, fine. And then the Danish on #8. Now the Danish still have their personal union with the Highlanders, and they're not currently trying to annex them. Alright, cool. But still, you know, that's okay. What is this? Oh, that's the war between the Gascons that is currently being fought. 29% in favor of the aggressors. The Flemish, who have the Franconian support here. Not really that big of a surprise. I just hope that the Gascons are not going to lose all the progress they have made here, because I kind of was happy to see some French nations starting to consolidate this region. It was Burgundy for a long time, but now that they're defeated, I don't think they're going to come back. So I'm kind of hoping that the Gascons are going to do it. Although, then again, as many people have pointed out, the Franconians could go for the recreation of the old Frankish Empire, right? So taking over both France and the German region. That would be really cool. That would make sense culturally, it would make sense sort of historically, and it would just overall be kind of funny to see. So maybe Franconia is going to just take over all of the Gascons. Although that's going to be difficult in this war, especially since they're not the war leaders. Anyway, yeah, so we have the English war. They are already losing this. I think they're just going to have to give up more lands in Asia, and that's just going to weaken their position. I mean, right now, they have a shot at winning this. They're the 3rd strongest power, but they're messing up. They're really messing up. So, yeah. Anyway, I think on that note, I will probably... I don't know, we still got some time. Wow, it's incredible as to how much faster this is going, because we were honestly only covering about 2 years, and now I think we've already covered like 11 years in this episode only, so I'm very amazed at that. I do enjoy that quite a bit. Now, Silesia is being completely overrun, just absolutely smashed by the Franconians here. They really seem to have been focusing on them just to get them out of the war, so they could then pull all of their forces over to deal with the Gascons. Although already it looks like they can't hold up. Yeah, they have their troops in the Breton lands for some reason, winning a few battles here, but in the end they're just gonna get crushed. They're just, oh my god, 200,000 men in one province. Yeah, that's not looking too good for them. So the Silesians are gonna get pieced out, but at this point it doesn't even matter because they are basically incapable. They can't do anything, and this war will soon end. Yep, they're with the Flemish retaking many of their lands that have been taken away from them before. And yeah, I wonder, did the Franconians? No, the Franconians did manage to grab a province off of the Silesians over here. That's interesting to see. So Silesia is looking pitiful. Yeah, you know what? Did you gain a land? No, you didn't get anything. Okay, so the Vallonians are just, I mean, yeah, 4 provinces left or something like that, and the Silesians are just, they're just done for. Now, one thing I'm interested in, oh yeah, I was wondering what's going to happen, or what happened to Croatia. They are now a march on the Romanians. Not sure if that is the smartest choice. I think a vassal would have been better, because I do believe you could have annexed them here at the end, or before the end of the series. I don't know, but maybe I think what they maybe are trying to do is get some cores back. Look at this. The Croatians still have lots of cores, and especially in order to drive back the Turks, they could be a useful tool for the Romanians. I mean, remember, the Romanians were the ones, together with the Franconians, who stopped the Turkish advance into Europe, at least for as long as they could. So I assume they still are somewhat rivaling the Turks. I mean, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, they are rival to the Turks, so that is probably their thinking here. Their queen is 38 years old, and a Van Bardovic is going to take over upon the monarch's death. So let's quickly check out the dynastic map mode here. So the Bolsheviks are the ones ruling in Franconia and Prussia. With them taking over Romanians, that would be sort of interesting. That would make them very powerful. I guess we'll check that out and we'll see how things go. But that was it for this episode. I'm very happy as to how far we've as to how far we've managed to come. 11 or 12 years. 12 years even. So this is really cool. We'll have a few more episodes, as I said, and then we'll see the conclusion of this series. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.